as the player, not Mish, um, they came across a bit of a kerfuffle with the local authorities.
That's one word for it.
But and fisticuffs were thrown, except one major issue came up. She didn't die when she was killed. So
Yeah,
that was an
Frankenstein's
issue.
short skirt was a bit of an issue.
Flying in the
So
face of everything I ever learned from Fate Stay Night.
I know. So instead, they decided to wrap and chain her up and, see if they could actually talk to her. But
First, we tried to brutally murder her permanently.
and then the whole thing of, is it morally right for us to dismember an undead, undying human?
I don't know
Augmented?
if undead is quite right, but definitely undying.
Augmented, probably.
Undying, the undying.
I still hold my stance on that argument.
Which was what?
Which was yes,
Yeah.
you should have
Oh, yeah.
definitely have dismembered them to prevent her from being a threat.
Yeah,
Yes.
Connery's
But-
with him on that one.
But Vinali's parents conveniently had a rope of "fuck you, you're not getting out," and it worked. And yeah, that's where we last left off. Also,
The
Mish is
rope
still
of
dead.
kinkiness.
The rope of "fuck you, you're not getting out." Am I wrong?
See,
I mean,
from-
I don't want to question what my parents get up to in the privacy of their own bedroom.
True.
I had
And-
to improv it last week, but I think it was the chain that barred the door to the tomb of Halajamaya.
Something like that.
The tomb
So-
of Jambalaya.
Jambalaya.
Mish is still dead. And it just so happened the factory, or supposedly, where her body was left, also went kaboom. So that's
Not
a
that
thing.
we know that. Also, we don't know that you're dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So, if you try and send a tell to someone who's dead, does your magic get like boo doo doo? The person you're trying to
I'm sorry.
contact.
I'm sorry.
The recipient of this spell has been
We're trying to
disconnected
reach
from
is
the
no
mortal
longer
plane.
in service. Please try again later.
I just want to hear the boo 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 from magic. Boo boo boo.
Alright, well, if everyone's good, we'll probably go ahead and start now after that recap. You all good?
Yeah, we're good to go.
I had something extra gassy. I don't know what the hell that was about. I'm good.
Wait, no, I'm not completely without resources. I have one charge left one charge, the only charge I have in the Feywild Shard, which I can't use because it requires meta magic, which I'm out of.
So you
Deeply
are
So-
out.
unfortunate.
So you're out of stuff.
Yes, technically I'm not out of
I mean-
stuff, but I'm not able to use the stuff that I still have.
I mean, can't you just drink something to restore?
God, I wish.
Potions of spell restore would be priced at insane amounts of monies.
I.e., out of our budget.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
In another campaign, I had a cursed magic hand from a hag that let me spend hit dice to restore sorcery points, but I only have two hit die left, so that wouldn't even help me.
I mean, what if you ate one of those popper things? Maybe those restore spell slots.
I only have
nasal-
34 hit points total. I don't know if I want to be swallowing poppers.
Right.
That sounds
be
like you're trying to
fun.
get us, the rest of us, killed because you're bored.
No. How dare you infer that? I'm hurt.
How dare she infer the thing that you already said out loud?
Alright, so I believe we left off with you guys having surrounded and chained up Sarah, who, although the magic implement within her is trying to heal her, if I remember correctly, you left her neck mostly broken, one of her arms removed, along with many other superficial wounds.
Along those lines, that sounds accurate, yeah.
But while you were getting to this sort of tail end of your interrogation, of which in the recap we didn't mention that you have suspicions that at least she and maybe others within the establishment here may have even been fogged. But while you were having this conversation, you heard the sound of Twain's alarm system going off outside as fireworks began to pop in the night sky, to which your captive said probably was because she hadn't come out of this house.
I think it might be time for us to move out of the city.
Really good idea. We have to find Mish, though, don't we?
Yes, that's something of a problem.
The defense network.
Katy Perry would
My
be fun.
God.
They just have an army of Katy Perry stationed along.
Oh my lord, why?
Yeah, and at this point, I do believe Fiora was most of the way done with defrosting Cal as well.
Thank you.
Ah, the calcicle is melted. Or would Cal have been calcified?
And that's the
Boo.
that's the next mortal peril I put him in.
Wait, what?
The Cal dentata.
Oh god. Wait, what was that frozen state that Han Solo was put in?
Carbonite.
Pyrostasis.
Carbonite, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can't think of a pun for that. Never mind.
Calbonite. I can do this all day.
But yes, you do not know at the moment where Mish is, and logistically speaking, you guys are in the upper reaches of the climbs, which is pretty far from the gates of the city.
Well, we do have a rough idea of, well, where we think Mish is. We were told the warehouse area by the docks.
That is true. That is, Tabitha said that she was going to be waiting for you there. Probably, that appointment should have come by now.
We could try to make our way there. At the very least, there's 2 people we do need to try to get out of the city as well. I shudder at even making this suggestion, but perhaps splitting up would be better. We'd be harder to spot in smaller groups.
Well, begs the question, who goes where?
Well, I'd like to make sure that my parents and Fiora get out of the city safely, so whichever group is going with them, I'm going with them.
Their sense of smell and stuff is probably best if Mitty and Conry search for Mish. They have the senses better suited to it. But they are also the most noticeable.
Do we have a very, very, very large trench coat that we can put over both of them?
This Kanji gets a ride on Mitty's shoulders.
do, do, Great. So we're going to be, once we grab Mish, we'll be 3 Zoans in a trench coat.
Rather than a 3 very conspicuous Zoans, it'll be 1 definitely not inconspicuous 15-foot tall person.
Yeah. Does your parents have the tarp that hid the remains of King Gudululu?
Probably not. I think that was burnt up in the fires that destroyed the city.
It's sad to watch history burn.
Well, then we picked the right goddess to start a fight with, because that's her whole shtick.
What is this we?
Hey, you attack the chains too. Don't make this all about me.
No. I didn't touch the chains.
Yeah, he really didn't. Mitty was, during that fight, he was trying to get people out of dangerous situations.
I punched the
fair.
dragon and pulled Cal out of the fire. The
Yeah.
light fire.
Cal puts himself in a lot of situations.
He does.
To be fair, if the rogue isn't up front trying to stabby stab, then, well, I guess there's ranged rogues, but I have almost never seen an actual ranged rogue in practice. Every rogue I've ever seen is a melee rogue.
Yeah, so it sounds like at least Finale and his family are going to be part of an escape group. Sounds like the Zoans are thinking about tracking down Mish.
So the question is, can you? I don't know if your dad still needs like a shoulder to carry on, but do you have the capabilities of carrying this bitch in a chair?
Possibly. I feel like it would make us even more conspicuous. Perhaps we could quickly cobble together some sort of a wheeled chair.
This wouldn't be an issue if y'all hadn't disabled her.
Do we?
I don't think she's going to remain disabled for very long. I think the issue is just keeping her bound.
For her part, Sarah is sitting there kind of just blinking, very blasé about everything at all of you, like turning to focus on whoever's speaking at the moment.
Is the palanquin of the gods still in commission here? Or did that get burnt up too?
Yeah, most of the historical artifacts that are around the Hondessa's place are, vases and like pieces of tablets and things that could easily be put on like a pedestal or something like that. Mantelpieces, not functioning palanquins.
I will definitely recommend to them to gather anything of sentimental or magical value that they might have that we don't want falling into enemy hands.
If they've got a whole bunch of like artifacts and stuff, do they have like a utility cart that they use to bring the stuff in?
Probably something like that could be acquired. Yeah, from your proximate location, you are not very far from the Weathervane Spire, which is sort of the airship docking place. So there's a lot of things like that.
All right. So we'll steal a utility cart and a tarp. Throw her on the cart and the tarp over her, and we'll just wheel her out of the city.
Do the old laundry basket prison escape?
Exactly.
At your earlier words, Vinali, your parents will sort of nod and look at each other. Omri will say, "I'll go get the Jotun tablets," and Castor says, "All right, I'll get the library," and they both just like make a dash in different points of the house.
As soon as they leave, Mitty's gonna like think for a moment and look to Finale and say, "Did your mom just say that she was gonna bring an entire library with?"
Yes, that's a cause for concern.
I think you're gonna need more wheelie carts left.
Yeah, perhaps I should have been a bit more specific when I told them anything of sentimental value.
Instead of stealing a wheelie cart, we'll steal an entire baggage cart. The ones with the trains at the back of them.
Actually, as you see the parents moving about the place, or at least Omre, who's going to the different pedestals they have put out, you see as she takes the artifacts down, she's not, stowing them in a normal place. She has a sack that she is putting them into, of which they all seem to mysteriously fit.
Oh, nice. We also have the collapsible chest if they just need extra room on top of that.
True. And hey, if we need to quickly dispatch of a very large group of people, we can toss the collapsible chest in the bag.
Bag of holding filled with collapsible chest.
Actually, I don't know if the collapsible chest falls under that rule. I think it probably would, but I don't know. We'll science it out later.
It does.
Oh.
It's just a reflavored version of a typical bag of holding shit.
Oh.
Ah, gotcha.
Being able to carry around an entire fucking museum.
But so what is y'all's plan then?
So I think the Zoans are gonna head down to the docks, and I'm gonna try and help Fiora and my parents out of the city.
Out of character. Is this just a scheme to get all the Zoans killed?
Out of character, no. In character, also no. But I wasn't the one that posited that the Zoans would be better at sniffing out Mish.
Anti-furry game.
our mostly furry party is going to become significantly less furry here.
So Cal, where do you what do you wish to do?
Well,
Probably sit down by the fire with a warm cup of cocoa.
I mean, considering that I am at like 7 HP, I don't think I want to go anywhere. I don't think going with y'all to get Mish is a great idea. Especially, like, I don't think going to get Mish right now is a grand idea, period, because we're all kind of out of sorts. But I think I'm gonna stay behind and help the family of what I can to and try to recuperate a little.
There is another option that just occurred to me.
Oh, what's that?
At that point, Vinali will try to catch one of his parents as they're running around the house and ask if there is anyone in town that they trust implicitly that we could lay low at.
Okay, you catch your father ducking about the place and trying to find crates and cases to pack the books into before they are added to the bag of holding. And you ask him that, he'll pause and think for a little bit. To be honest, son, I feel like there probably would be some good people in this town, but we don't stick around typically long enough to have ingratiated ourselves with them, and I don't don't frankly know who all the secret keeper's gotten to, so I can't really think of anyone, no.
Not to mention that even if there was someone, they would probably be on the first list, or the first stop when searching for the missing individuals now.
Well, the idea that occurred to me was we could stage a fake escape, leave behind clues as to where we went, and then be somewhere else. But if that's not an option, then so be it.
Or we could just escape.
Well, the idea was we'd have time to rest up before trying to rescue Tabitha and Mish. It'll be a lot harder to get into the city to try to rescue them once we've escaped.
Unfortunately, it not does not seem like your parents have any especially deep connections with the establishment here.
Yeah. Cal, I don't suppose you've heard of any sort of thieves guild networks around that you might be able to reach out to?
That is a good question. I don't know if I would, since most of my connections are on the sea, but what would I roll for that?
Let me check. Yeah, I don't think you have anything special to affect this, so just make me a straight intelligence check.
Not bad. Oh, that was a save.
Yeah, it's a save,
My
but
bad.
the result would have been
Oh.
still would have been a 20 with the previous roll. So you definitely don't have a lot of personal contacts here because you have spent majority of your life, especially your recent life, in Oradell. Totally not, anywhere near here. But because of your early life, you do remember some, you know, rumblings and rumors. There is a thieves guild in Southern Alea. They're known as the Lamplighters, and they operate not in one city, but they're a network across Defiance, Sinandira, and Twain. All of the city states are a connected operation for them. But even compared to like your traditional thieves guild, like the Lamplighters are really mysterious. Like their MO is no one knows who the fuck they are. They get their name from the fact of you never see them, you never see their agents or anyone working for them. You'll just go to a street corner, find a street lamp lit that wasn't before, and hey, there's your smuggled goods there waiting for you.
Okay. I'll kind of relay that information and like let them know that I'm aware of them, but I don't any motives or any of the actual people are unknown to me, and I don't know how confident I feel with their with them being so enigmatic.
Yeah, enigmatic.
Enigmatic.
You all do know not a lamplighter, but someone who works for the lamplighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanessa, her little thieves guild.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we don't have a way to contact her. I take it that Cal wouldn't know how to reach out to them, and just knows roughly how they work, and that they are. I can't talk. They're probably here in the city.
Right, they definitely have operatives here, but you don't. None of you would have the information needed to really know how to reach out to them, especially in a hurry.
Yeah. Well, out of ideas that don't involve us running away and trying to fight our way back in later.
Well, what is the plan for escape?
I do think it's wise to bring. I'm spacing out on her name. Our captive,
Sarah?
Sarah. I do think it's actually wise to bring her with us. She could be a bargaining chip. I don't think they'd be very happy to know that we know, and that we could spread that information. She could also be a useful ally if we're able to convince her or otherwise free her from this influence.
So you guys,
If that's even possible.
if anyone looks at her, you'll just see her roll her eyes and go back to trying to straighten the crook in her neck.
It would generally require her to have some sort of ego, but as it stands, she's more machine than person.
What?
Well, we've personally seen small bits of recovery from the fog. I think it's possible she could regain some semblance of what she once was if properly nudged along.
That's if what's befallen her has to do with the fog.
It's true we don't know for sure, but it certainly bears the hallmarks. But that's neither here nor there. We do need to figure out the specifics of how we're getting out. I like the cart idea, that's useful. A large cart would be a good way to hide multiple of us as well.
Horses.
That would be more difficult.
But I mean, like, I'm asking what happened to our horses. Out of character. Because we had them and then we don't.
We left them with Mish's mom.
Oh, okay.
Who
I forgot about that.
the horses will become her new children since Mish is no longer here.
Oh god, she's gonna kill us when she finds out.
Oh yeah.
First, she's gonna kill the quote-unquote dad.
Maybe we should just tell Mish's mother that she's gone missing in Twain, and she can come and just burn the place down trying to find her.
Well, I mean, we don't know that she's dead yet, so we can't even.
No, I said
report
just
that.
missing. I said missing.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, we can't even confirm that she's dead to cause her any grief.
Yeah, with the plethora of volunteers you have, you're able to go out and fetch a utility cart and tarp and things like that. The first person that actually exits the Hondessa's estate will maybe be a bit caught off guard, or defying expectations a bit. No one's out in the hall, like, watching you guys. There's no backup flank of dragoons, hurrying in your direction. The upper flight here in the climbs actually seems fairly deserted at the moment.
Well, they're either waiting at the exits from this area into the city proper, or perhaps that alarm is not what our captive would have us believe. Perhaps something else has happened in the city.
Quite possibly. It would explain why they sent such a small force to capture us in the first place, even with her regenerative ability.
What could have happened, do you think?
Well, probably Mish, possibly Tabitha, or, I don't know, perhaps the Zoans tried to breach the gate. We did hear about that in character, right? We just didn't hear the specifics.
Correct, yes. Yeah, and probably worth noting that it's not like a full-on 4th of July festival, but there is a fairly steady clip to the distant pops you guys can hear. The signal passing is definitely continuing.
Would Mitty have experienced enough arms fire to be able to distinguish that from firework?
Probably, I would assume. This definitely sounds like fireworks and not
Gotcha.
like anyone shooting.
Gotcha. Figured I'd ask.
Yeah, I think in the last, well, now it's been a while, but I was going to say in the last few minutes we've heard enough gunfire to tell the difference. Well, if there is distress somewhere else in the city, perhaps that is a perfect way to cover our escape. It could also, if you're so inclined, give you an opportunity to head down to the docks and check things out there, perhaps pull off a rescue operation if the area seems deserted enough. The question is, which direction do we try to head out of the city?
What's the closest gate?
You are essentially vertically up over the midpoint of the city. It'd be equidistant to go north or south.
Well, if we're looking to rest, probably south. I imagine the moment we take a step back into the cradle, it might not go so well for us, especially when we're this exhausted.
The North Gate is where they're having all that trouble with the Zoans, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
Then there's probably going to be a lot more security up that way than towards the Southern Gate, because that's where they'll be expecting a lot of trouble from.
That's true, yes. I hadn't actually thought of that. I was considering more that at the very least we would have some allies in the north, whereas the south we're kind of still on our own. But you're right, there would be more forces up at the northern gate.
we'd have to go pretty far north to find allies. And I can almost guarantee you we'll find enemies before that.
South Gate's probably your best bet.
So, are you guys? Is that the plan? That elves are taking Benali's parents and Fiora? So that is what.
Can I get a quick healing word or something? I've only got 11 HP. If I'm going with MIDI,
I've literally got nothing.
Gotcha.
Zero
Okay.
spell slots.
Hold on.
Hold
Let me
on.
see what I've got.
Well, I will say, probably. It actually probably hasn't been a full hour. I'm assuming that you guys have been doing this.
Okay, so I have 3 healing potions on me.
One.
Who needs
Oh,
them the
I
most?
do have, yeah, it's a
Cal
good
needs
point.
one.
I have 2 healing potions and 1 quote-unquote healing potion.
Okay.
Cal definitely needs one. And I need one.
All right. I will give Conry one of mine.
I'm not going into battle, so I think I'll be okay, but
You're still pretty badly off, and there's a chance we may end up in battle trying to escape anyway.
Yeah, I'll give you 1, Cal, to hang on to, just in case.
okay.
I don't remember if I even know what the issue is with the quote-unquote healing potion, so I'll give you the regular one.
If I'm not remembering incorrectly, the quote-unquote healing potion you bought from the old medicine woman you met in the caravans.
Right, that was the one that, like, reeked of alcohol.
Correct, yep.
Healing potion.
I mean,
Whiskey will heal everything.
I was gonna say, I do remember it being a thing in college where people would donate blood and then go get drunk, so that would be a really quick way for him to get wasted. But it wouldn't help his health.
That absolutely sounds like something that would happen in college.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that healing potion and I'm gonna use it, and then that's what. What happens when you use the healing potion?
Is that
It's 2d4 plus 2. Assuming it's a basic healing potion, which I don't think we're rich enough to afford better.
yeah? I think all you guys have are the basic healing potions.
So if I do what 2d4 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, that puts me up to 21. Great, better than I was at.
old
What,
enough to drink.
what's your max HP?
46.
I'll give you another one. Whether you want to drink it.
I'll pay you back when we get a chance.
I mean, you being alive to be able to punch things is more than enough payment.
Alright, then let me do that again.
There we go.
Still a good roll.
Yeah.
I'm up to 29. Alright.
And I will down this one just in case. This last one I have.
My dad actually seems okay, right? He just got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, as he's moving around and you've been checking on him, and honestly, I think probably at some point during this, Omri would have like made him take his button up off to check him. He's fine. It really seems like whatever mechanism operates Sarah's rifle, it is capable of like pure crowd control shots. It like didn't hurt him at all.
It's both terrifying and intriguing.
Right, so the gaggle of elves and Castor is human, but like the rest of you are some degree of elven, are taking Sarah underneath the tarp covered cart, right, and heading to the south gate.
Yeah, and we dress as inconspicuously as possible before heading out.
Alrighty. So you guys will part from your two Zoan companions, is there any parting words between your group?
Once I've had a chance to rest up and recover my magical capabilities, I'll reach out to you to let you know where we are, and we can reconnect then.
Sounds good. Try not to let her get too wild.
Of course. And try not to get caught, obviously.
No promises on that, but
You know, you're able to come back. You don't.
Yeah,
If you
if
get
there's a lot of
yeah,
gods around, anything that makes gets your heckles up and just
don't be
back off of
stupid.
it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot worse trying to rescue 3 of you with 2 of us than just Mish with all of us.
fair enough.
Yep.
Though I don't think a 8-foot tall monstrous bear and
What? What were you gonna say?
a lichen who's probably slept around with half the town.
Shut up. Shut your damn mouth. Don't talk to me.
You know, your girlfriend would be really handy here.
Oh my god, shut up. I don't have a girlfriend. Shut up.
Giggity? Question mark?
when Vinali says that, Mitty will say, "Which one?"
Shut the fuck up. Are we going or not? Come on.
All right, let's go.
Anything to get out of this awful conversation.
Right, so the groups part in the night, the dark hanging over Twain, intermittently broken up by strangely beautiful flashes of red and orange and yellows as these miniature explosions shower sparks down across the mostly swampy, cityscape below, reflecting up in the water. Gives the night sky, despite the late hour, almost something of a sunset rosy hue as the light from them cascade around. Half of your
I
party.
did want to say real quick, as we're leaving the house, I'm going to, assuming that any of them are still functional, because I don't think we actually went over this, the guns that the rest of the Dragoons were using.
Yeah, you rifle through and seems like none of them were explicitly damaged, although you have no idea how to work any of them.
Yeah, definitely not. But I will hand one of those off to Cal and say, if you'd rather not get close to anything we need to fight. Because I'm pretty sure we've seen Cal with a gun that they were trying to get fixed, right?
Yes.
So I'm just going to assume that you know how to use one.
I feel like the ones that I have used are not nearly as smart, but I'll hold on to it. It gives me a little more comfort, just in case.
All right, so you have I don't know if you want to write it down in your inventory. That is a cryolock mag gun, which you now have.
Okay, I got it.
So I would still say not a weapon you'd be. Not that you're not proficient in, but that you don't know how to use. So if you do try and fire it in combat, probably will have to figure something out. But
I mean, I can always whip people with it.
yeah, I mean, technically that is possible.
But no.
But so Elven party goes south towards the south gate, doing their best to avoid detection, while the Zoans go on a hunting party for their missing companion, potentially Tabitha, who, as far as you know, might also still be waiting for you. So while we change scenes here, are you there, Richter?
I'm here. Hello?
I hear you.
I hear you.
You don't remember much, Mish. Vague recollections of a predator's eyes and dark matted fur and a lot of pain. A whole lot of pain. But that all feels really distant and fuzzy, almost like it happened to someone else a long time ago, or maybe even in a story about someone else's life. And you're not sure exactly how long it's been, or if that's even you. That's a bit fuzzy too. All you are really aware of, it's not fair to call it seeing because you don't have eyes, but you're aware of the white everywhere and the presence of the white, even though you can't see it. And it draws your attention down, and it has to teach you how to look because you can't see. But slowly and patiently, it instructs you how to shift your focus down to yourself. And you see all that you're made of, this ball of light. And slowly it tells you to look deeper and harder at it until you can see the granularity of it. It's not a flat orb, it is a tangle, a wire knot of threads like fairy lights with little twinkling bits of star fragments attached to them like grapes on a vine. Within that, you see the faces of your mom and dad, your friends. You see the first time you picked up Charity. You see running for your life in Pandemonium. Everything that made Mish who they were. And then you feel the presence touching that, unwinding it, just the littlest bit, trying to find the end of the ball of yarn. And as soon as that unraveling happens, then you see it. And it's horrible. It's vile. If you had a stomach, you would be sick, but you don't. You want to scream, but you don't know how. Its own light, so much brighter and bigger than yours, unwoven and spread in so many others and in so many other places. It's like the veins in your body have been flensed from the flesh and spread out flat to wet the ground with your blood for miles and miles. And how it could still live that way, it scares you. And then it begins to unwind you, and you know no more.
Hmm. Hmm. Like, you said she was seeing strings of memory, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Is it possible, like, for her, like, because I'm internalizing it's like she's actually having a waltz through memory lane. Like, cause like she's seeing the final moments before she ended up where she was, or where she is currently. Um, and you're saying like as she's seeing this horrific thing, and it's trying to unwind her, would it be possible for her to just cling to the memory of like the positive memories she's had, like the positive reinforcement memories that she's accumulated, and just grip onto them as an anchor instead of just giving up?
Yeah, of course, you can definitely do that. What if you had to pick one of Mish's memories, whether something from the campaign or something you imagine happened before, what would her sort of lodestone be here?
Um, I think the first memory that she would actually grip onto would be of when her father figure, hang on, pulling up her sheet, actually chose her out of the available applicants to be, one of Agitate's enforcers. Like, actually decided to train her despite, her mother's wishes. He saw potential in her, and the fact that he saw that, yes, it may have caused her mother figure to disapprove of her actions. She just wanted to prove to everyone that she was worth that decision. So, as much as this is terrifying her, like, she's clinging on to that memory of, no, you're not taking this from me. You'd actually have to obliterate me before I let this go.
Alrighty. Just for flavor here, make me a charisma save.
Oh dear. Normal?
Yeah, just a normal save.
Oh no.
I believe in you.
No, I don't.
I do.
Yeah. So I'll
Oh,
I'm sorry, you sound sick.
oh, I slept with the window open last night, and it started snowing.
Oof.
It like dropped like 20 degrees in the middle of the night,
Oh, that's rough.
so I'm not feeling too hot today, but I'm fine.
But yeah, I will keep that in mind. But just a bit of insight to Mish's experiences here while your friends don't actually know what's happening to you. So
Mm. And like, I guess like I want to actually rephrase something. Instead of she'd have to be obliterated than let this go. Let me just reword that to she'd rather burn out than let it go.
gotcha. Okay. Uh, for the group, the elf group. I hate that we're doing this along racial boundaries. Okay, for the elf group.
Wow.
Let's see.
Rather than making it along racial boundaries, just think of it as the less hairy versus more hairy.
The
That's
It's
even
furries and the
worse.
non-furries.
That's even worse.
okay. So skins, skins and furs.
Furries and non-furries.
All right, non-furries. Could both of you make this a group stealth check, and I'll roll with you to represent the parents.
Can I give myself guidance?
You can try, yeah.
Ooh, not bad.
Which Cal, you're wearing your cloak, so you should have advantage on a stealth check.
Okay. Just roll it again.
Yeah, one more time. Yeah, that's more
Okay,
roguelike.
okay.
Okay, so you guys do your best to stay out of notice from people, and you do. There are plenty of citizens moving about at this time of night, especially given the activity. So you're not, able to avoid all notice, but you do your best to make yourselves look as inconspicuous as possible. You will notice as you all sort of move in a hurry cluster that there aren't a whole lot of guards moving about, and most of the townspeople you see are coming out of their shops or their beds and um, casting their eyes up to the sky and seemingly looking for some sort of directive of what the issue is. At some point, you, unless you specify otherwise unless you did something to prevent this, you will hear Sarah's voice from beneath the tarp call out, not loudly, but to those of you that were piloting the cart. Can you stop?
Stop what?
Stop moving. Can I look at the fireworks?
Why?
They're pretty.
Because I think they're signaling something different, and I can't tell without seeing them.
Well, this has been a night of terrible decisions, so why the hell not? I'm definitely going to be careful about where we stop and make sure there's no potential people looking that might see a person inside the cart.
So you try your best to pull off like into a deserted kind of alley to stop the cart and pull the tarp down enough to let Sarah's sort of pale and still probably a little gore streaked face look up at the sky. She watches the fireworks for a few moments before sort of giving a half nod, and she'll say, "Oh, the Zoans killing more guards again at the North Gate."
Well, that's good news for us. It means there won't be any, well, hopefully, won't be any forces around the dock. And it should make an easier escape for us to the south as well. I do want to make an insight check just to see if she's not lying to us and that it's actually something to the south that we should be worried about.
All right, roll an insight.
I'm not expecting much. I'm not good at this.
Okay, you get the impression that she's definitely not lying to you, and I did roll for her. She rolled really poorly compared to even that, so you get the impression that not only is she not lying to you, but that she wouldn't think to lie to you.
Gotcha. I kind
Fucking
of
automaton.
expected that much, but I wasn't sure.
But you also do get the impression, especially calling out automaton, there's a touch of genuine sadness when she reports that other guards are being killed.
Well, it's the job they've signed up for. They know the risks. If honestly there was anything we could do to help them, I wouldn't mind it, but we'd probably just wind up imprisoned afterwards.
It is what it is, but it's a poor night for their commander to be tied to a supply cart.
Well, you have no one but your boss to blame for that.
She'll remain silent on that front, but still be lying still on the supply cart as at your leisure you can recover her with the tarp.
Yeah, I'm like, actually, I'll just have this conversation in character, just like kind of quietly as we're pushing the cart, whisper over to Cal. Do you think we should gag her? I don't know if she'd shout out when we get to the gates or not. I feel like it's a rude thing to do, but I don't know if we should be polite about that.
Is it any ruder than her busting in and setting fire to the house?
You're not there. Shush.
And shooting your dad? I'm just saying.
I mean,
That was then, this is now. It's been 20 minutes, get over it.
Times have changed, man.
she doesn't seem to be putting up much of a fight now. She could be. We are no longer with the people that were being aggressively violent with her, and so far
Fighting.
she's not been
She's
acting
biding,
out. So
biding her time.
yeah, I think giving her a little bit of dignity and not gagging her would be nice.
So I'm inclined to agree. But in the worst case scenario, just be prepared to run like hell once we get to the gate.
I'm the one that's invisible. You worry about yourself, my friend.
You're only invisible when you're not moving. You do know that, right?
That seemed to have slipped my mind. It must be the blood loss.
That is valid. You took quite a beating and freezing.
I was impaled quite severely, and not in a fun way.
It's the second time in 2 days.
Unfortunately.
God, it really only has been 2 days. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So you guys resume traveling, your family in tow, and Fiora, who, well, you'll see your parents are actually handling this fairly well. Not that they necessarily have escaped the city in clandestine ways before, but perhaps their other adventures have made them able to keep cool under the situation. Fiora is definitely more the skittish one and seems to almost like micro jump every time a new firework goes off overhead. But
Seeing that, I'd definitely like. Yeah, I'd hold her hand and just try to be a comforting presence. Hand holding, I know. Didn't think this was going to turn into a lewd story.
yeah, very degenerate. So you guys will move forward eventually, and it'll take you a decent bit of time to make your way all the way from the climbs down to the southern gate. But at length, after you've traversed like half the city and probably have to stop a few times to let whoever is having to cart push Sarah on the cart around catch their breath. Eventually, you'll make it to the southern gate, where you will that you actually just came in earlier this morning through, and much differently than when you entered it, you will find the portcullis is closed, but the gate appears unattended to.
Well, We could try to figure out the gate and get out that way. Alternatively, we could go out through the train tunnel. There's probably going to be some people at the train station, but at this hour, probably not many. But I don't know that any of us here know how to operate the gates.
Unfortunately, no.
Well, one person here probably does.
Asking Sarah.
May as well. She seems as trustworthy as someone like her can be.
You ask her, and she'll reply at length. There's not much operating them. It's an automatic system.
Is there a way to override it? Make it open when it's supposed to be closed?
If you just manually input the controls from the lever room, it should open.
I
Kind
know
of
you said
glance around
lever
looking
room.
for... Yeah.
You said lever room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we see anything that looks like it would be a lever room?
Not from the ground level, but as you say that, you will see a slight tent form in the tarp as she points up with her one hand.
Yeah, I suppose at this point now the arm that wasn't chained down has grown back.
It seems to be getting there.
Well, I can try to figure it out if you can stay here and keep an eye on her and my family.
Cal.
Okay. Sorry, I was taking a slurp. That sounds good. I'll keep an eye on everyone and hopefully nothing else will go sideways.
Being mindful of trying to make sure she feels useful, I'll bring Fiora with me, commenting, that you know more about, well, Magitech type of things than I do, so I'm sure you can offer some insight.
If you think that is wise, Benali.
And just nod and bring her along up with me to have two minds better than one, that whole philosophy.
Okay, you leave Cal with your parents standing there trying their best to act casual, and Sarah, who is lying flat under the tarp. Just gotta be one of the weirdest days in her life. The two of you go up on top of the wall, finding the entrance, and given your past experience with the city, it definitely would strike you as odd that the wall is completely unguarded, seemingly, even in the midst of a assault. That is weird.
Yeah, I'm definitely suspicious about this, but I'm taking the opportunity as it is.
You start to get to the very top of the wall, and then the where it is, what's the word, like where it can be patrolled during the regular shifts, and you'll find the control room right where you'd expect it to be, where the guards can easily access it. And as you open that singular door, you see a not too many. It's not like being inside a spaceship, but definitely an entire broom closet full of levers and gears and cranks and things that would make an artificer happy.
Where's a gnome when you need one?
Yeah. For her part, Fiora just sort of looks around at all of it and says, "Why does a gate need so many buttons?"
That is a very good question. Perhaps something we can ask our prisoner later on when we have time.
So
Just have to be very mindful that there's probably more than one of these that will set off some sort of an alarm.
yeah, so to attempt to find the controls that will operate the gate but won't give away your position, how about you make an investigation check?
Oh boy, here we go. Can I give myself guidance on that?
You're not being time pressured, so sure.
Okay. I always feel like I have to ask because guidance is so abusable.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Yeah, that's pretty good. So over the course of a few minutes here, working with Fiora, you guys deduce that it's probably not any of a certain section of controls, given that they seem pretty intentionally set for the priming and release of other fireworks, like the ones that are currently dotting the sky further to the north of the city. So, deciding pretty quickly, let's not fuck with any of those, you narrow your search down and eventually find a pair, not a pair, but a set of controls that you believe control the portcullis and the gate itself, of which you think you have a decent idea of how you could raise the portcullis.
Well, there's only one way to find out for sure. Just gonna offer a silent prayer and go ahead and give it a shot.
Alright, throwing the switch, you guys cross your fingers and hope, and after a brief held breath, you'll hear the telltale sound of gears whirring to life and chains beginning to move as the heavy iron portcullis begins to slowly inch its way up into the gate itself. It's not silent, and perhaps worrying about that, the two of you will probably start to head back towards the main group so you can quickly make your way out of the gate.
Definitely still paranoid. I'm just going to voice my concerns out loud. We're not out of the woods yet. Keep your eyes peeled.
As you guys rally around the cart and duck through the gate, not even once it's fully opened, but just when it's enough for you guys to comfortably fit through, you make your way out to the other side and begin moving down what is colloquially known as the Ruin Run Rise. Back down the way you the steps you took earlier today to get into the city. Once you're about 100 feet through the gate back into the ruin run, you'll find about half a dozen bodies of merchants and townspeople. It looks like they had been trying to get in the gate at last call, along with 2 or 3 guards who are lying at the side of the road. Not dead, but seemingly sleeping.
I'm going to signal to everyone we should stop moving, and I am going to very carefully examine our surroundings in as much as I can see in the dark.
Okay, could I have you and I suppose Cal make me perception checks?
Boof.
Hey, elf twins.
Yeah, fortunately that you're not playing slots, so 7s aren't good.
Damn.
Suffering.
Even then, you need 3.
Okay, so looking around, you try and peer through the dark to see maybe what might have caused this removal of guards and individuals from the gate. And you don't exactly lay eyes on anything that you think might have caused this. You don't see other people. You don't see other other carts or anything. It seems to be just the 2 of you, or not the 2 of you, but you guys and your companions are seemingly alone here on the hill.
Not going to touch them just in case it's a magical effect that could be dispelled that way, but I am going to just like snap my fingers in front of one of the merchant ones. I'm not messing with the guards at all, to see if there's any sort of a reaction.
Doesn't appear to be. But as you do get closer to them, here in the darkness, you're able to see maybe the first signs of what might be going on here. As you crouch down to snap your fingers, you notice that it seems like the merchant is like lying in something.
I do have a bullseye lantern. I can light that up to get a better look.
Okay. Turning some proper lights on so you're not just relying on Cal's passive illumination.
My elf light.
Did you have the elf light going?
I mean, I could, but would that not make me invisible anymore, or would I just be a glowy, invisible blob?
Yeah, you would be an invisible person, but a noticeable moving, like a source of light.
Could I have? Is that attuned, or can I give that to him?
I believe the elf light was attuned.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I have since. I hope you wrote down some of those cards because I do not have them right now. Unless they're in this channel. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, the elf light is attuned.
I just pictured as like this weird sort of lunar eclipse kind of effect,
Yeah, like
where there's like not an actual moon that's being blocked, or not lunar eclipse, I guess solar eclipse. With the sun isn't being blocked. There's just no moon, but you're still seeing just like a hole and where the moon would be. You can't see the sun, but you can see the edge of the sun around the hole.
just be
Like a ghost.
a sourceless 30-foot thing of light moving around. But hey, it's totally invisible, guys. But anyway, as you turn the lantern on and cast it towards this collection of people, you see that the quote-unquote sleeping individuals are all lying in a pile of the dry white ash that is familiar to you all from the Foglands.
And we saw, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a few sessions since then, but on the train, didn't those weird assassins dissolve into that too?
Correct. And I believe you saw on the train the sort of like power crystals that were used in a lot of the Magitech technology also had turned to that ash.
Well, I get the feeling we're about to be attacked. I feel like it's going to be those assassins we met on the train.
Well, not much we can do to stop that, huh?
Just tell Fiora and my parents, if something does happen, just keep behind the cot as best you can. Try to stay out of sight. Cal and I will draw the attackers away as best we can.
They'll nod and seem to prepare themselves for whatever danger lies ahead. You guys will continue to try and move down the ruin run, trying to avoid whatever threat you think might be lurking out there.
Yeah, I've definitely also doused my lantern again.
Gotcha, alright. From there, we will move scene to go to the Zoan tribe now. But before we do, how about we take a 5-minute break?
Sounds Gucci.